how to lead during a crisis, I think the question is, what do you mean by crisis, right? Is crisis one of these things that there's a lot of emotion that's rising and you feel you need to just make a decision? And I think that that's probably not the best way of making decisions. Crisis to me means you're in a situation where there are lots of unknowns, where your colleagues are disagreeing, they're disagreeing with each other, they're looking at you like, what do we do? And you need to make a decision. And I think that during those times, the decision, you need to figure out, is this a decision that I can make over a week or two, or a decision that can evolve over a month? Or is this a decision actually we need to make right now? And so I divide these decisions of crisis into kind of two categories. And so one is complex decisions, and then the other ones are decisions that occur during chaos. Let's talk about the complex decisions first. I think a lot of us as leaders, we go into these situations where we have a lot of expertise, we have a lot of experience ourselves, and really like we can, in any moment, someone can ask us a question and we kind of instinctively know what to do. We need to get out of that sort of reflexive, almost robotic decision-making style when we're facing these complex decisions where things are unknown, where things are changing rapidly, where the situation's volatile and emotions are running high. And what we need to do is we need to put aside some time, and whether this is a few minutes or whether this is hours, or you're putting a retreat together, and you want to get a lot of different people together and then gather a bunch of different perspectives. And so why do you do that? If I make a decision about something a question that I hear in the moment, yes, it's based upon my experience. Yes, it's based upon what I've done in the past and what all the knowledge that I have, all the things I know, but it's also behind my blind spots. And so there's things I don't know, that I don't see, that I don't understand about the situation, and I don't even know that. And so what we want to do in those situations, we gather all these individuals, and by gathering individuals with different perspectives, different experiences, they see the same situation in different ways. And during these moments, there's oftentimes disagreement, and those disagreements are very much a part of this complex situation and how you're going to make decisions. And so, yes, someone thinks this, and on the other hand, someone thinks this. These things, they may not kind of reconcile, but they are a part of the bigger picture. And so before you decide, you want to bring people together, gather these perspectives, and then and only then do you move forward to figure out what are the options that you have to pursue. And so what are the things we might do given all these different perspectives? How might we proceed given all these different kind of insights and views around our blind spots? And then after you gather lots of options, then you start to move towards like, what are we actually going to do? We've come up with a bunch of different options. Which of these makes sense? Which of these should we kind of try as experiments to move forward, to kind of poke the environment and then learn from the environment and see how it responds? That's the complex situation. And so that on one side, you're bringing lots of perspectives together, and then only then are you moving forward. Then the other thing is crisis. And so crisis, we can think about with COVID, for example. All of a sudden there's this virus that's occurring over in China. We're hearing about it. It's like, yeah, right, this is never going to happen here. And then all of a sudden, some of our colleagues start getting sick, and all of a sudden this becomes a really big deal and it becomes a pandemic. Do we have time to assemble kind of, like task forces? Can we have a meeting that we're going to schedule once a month for this? Or are there some things here that we just need to make decisions? And so there are times during crisis, during times of chaos, where we need to just actually step up and make a decision. So as a leader, I have experience and I've done this and that before in the past, and I have a perspective of what's going on. I know that this is fallible. I know that I have blind spots, but I still need to make a decision. And so how do you improve your decision? So I have assembled this kind of board of directors in my mind, individuals with different perspectives. And given the situation, quickly I'll think about, what does this person think? What does this other person think? How might they respond to this? And it's almost like I'm able to get a group of people together with me in my own mind to try to figure out what might work and what might not work. And then given that kind of brief kind of board meeting in your own thoughts, then you move forward and figure out how things might play out, and you make a final decision. And that is in itself, yes, you could just respond reflexively, again, because we all do that, but being able to step back in a moment and quickly understand lots of different perspectives, and then moving forward, even during crisis where time is very precious, is going to make you more effective. And so our best leaders are able to pivot between this crisis of chaos in the moment where you need to decide fast and you're the expert and things aren't perfect, and those times where you have some moments and you can assemble lots of people together. The times people have difficulty, though, is when a leader needs to flex both ways. And so if it's a time of crisis of chaos where we need to make a decision, I may be a command and control style leader. And if it's a time of complexity where we have some time, what I want to do is I want to actually more facilitate and draw a lot of people together and collaborate. These are two different kinds of leaders. And so the leader during chaos, if they go over to this time of complexity where really you should be gathering perspectives and they're still commanding and controlling, they're not going to be successful. And on the other hand, if you're a leader who's really good at facilitating collaboration and now a crisis of chaos comes and you need to make decisions now, you can no longer bring all these people together. You need to have the confidence in the moment to be able to make a decision. Understand that yes, your decision will be fallible because you don't have all the information, but it's exactly the right thing to do moving forward. And so our best leaders reconcile these two different situations and they're able to respond to a crisis quite well.